up, my britches? If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany, and today's video is going to be a part 2 to my Sephora haul. We're doing a Sephora haul try on. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying on a bunch of new products, but before I get into it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up or thumbs it down. That's cool too. If you guys like this, don't like it, I need to know all the things. It has been quite some time since I've done any sort of film content, so if I'm a little bit rusty, just throw me a bone. To start this off, I am going to go in with my favorite eye base, which is from Cosmetics. It's the Clean Canvas Eye Base. This palette was one of the items I was the most excited about because one, I wasn't expecting to see this in store, but supposedly this is the last full-size palette that Huda Beauty will be doing. With this color story, the basic bitch in me is squealing over this. Bringing you up close and personal, but I'm making sure I just don't have any eye boogers first. First, I'm going to take my reference number 2 in the shade Unapologetic, and I'm just pressing this right into my crease. Oh my god, I swatched this palette and I have glitter everywhere. Next, I'll take my reference number 1 in the shade High Life, and I'm just going to blend the edge right above that crease. I almost want to reinforce that Unapologetic shade a little bit, so I'm going to take that same brush and just lightly go over the top, right over the crease. Same brush, I'm taking the shade She's Rich, and I'm just tapping this right on that outer corner. I feel like this shade could be one that would apply patchy if I go in right away and blend it, so I'm just going to tap it first and then blend the edges after I got the opacity that I'm looking for. I'm almost doing like a slight little flick so I get a little bit of a wing too. I'm going to go back in with Unapologetic and just reinforce that up here again. She's looking pretty cute. What shade do I want to put all over the lid? I feel like I want to try using the shade VVS, which is a little bit clumpy, so I don't think the brush is going to be the best option. I'm just going to use my finger. I'm just going in a little bit at a time, and a little bit is very necessary. With the little amount that I just picked up, I can't believe how much that just covered. Yeah, little goes a long way with that one. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this one because when I swatched it, it does pick up quite chunky, but it thins out pretty nicely with my finger on my lids. Just gonna take a little bit of She's Rich and just blend this edge between the two. I'm gonna take a little bit of Apologetic too and do the same thing right at the top. All right, that's cute. I like it. Just gonna start by cleaning up this little wing. Okay, good enough. Moving on to the face, I am gonna skip over primer today because I didn't pick up any new ones and I am testing some new complexion products, but I'm gonna start with my cream contour. I picked this one up from the Sephora collection. It's the Sephora collection contour stick. I'm gonna try drawing this on one side, and then I'll apply it with my brush on the other side just to see if it's, you know, easy to use both ways. All right, that blends out fairly easily. Let me do it on my jawline as well. Normally I try to keep my face straight when I'm blending out my contour, but occasionally I'll do one of these just so you can see. And one more right on my forehead. This formula is very creamy. It blends out really nicely. It almost reminds me a little bit of the Rare Beauty bronzing stick. All right, that looks good. On the other side, I'm gonna take my brush and run it through. This is how I typically like to apply products like these. And then I'll blend it out with my BK109 this way. Definitely seeing some more payoff this way opposed to just drawing the line, but I think I'm getting a little bit more definition, but since I'm underpainting, this is totally fine. I'm like so surprised at how easily this blends out. One more time for the jawline. All right, and here's how we're looking side by side. We had just drawn on this side and then with a brush on this side. I think both ways work out really well. Super creamy formula, really blendable, and a really nice shade for my complexion. This was the shade Light Medium. I have a feeling that might become a favorite. Next, I'm gonna go in with foundation, which I think today I'm gonna go with the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Stick Foundation because this is one of the most popular recommendations that I've seen for the sale. This shade looks like such a good match for me. This is 3N. I have very high expectations for this foundation because it's Dior, and I usually love all Dior foundations, but I'm not typically a foundation stick girly. One thing about this foundation that I noticed right off the bat is one, it blends out really easily, but two, it does have a fragrance to it. The fragrance on this one is very apparent though, so if you're somebody that doesn't like fragrances in your complexion products, you would not like this. I think the coverage on this is really nice. I'm really liking how easily this blends out. At first application, I would say this is probably a light medium to medium coverage with a natural skin-like finish. I'm just gonna add a little bit more in some areas that I want a little bit more coverage, but I definitely feel like this is a buildable coverage foundation. Here's how it's looking freshly applied. I feel like this looks really good, especially for a stick foundation, but let's see how everything looks on top of it first. For loose powder, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. I didn't pick up any new ones during the sale, but if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. This is just one of those powders that I already know that I like it. She looks pretty good. Next, I'm gonna go with powder contour from the Sephora collection. This is the shade Light Medium. I'm a little bit nervous for this one, so I'm gonna start using a very little amount just to see, because I feel like this could be potentially too dark for me. I don't know why I grabbed that other brush. This is usually the one that I use for my powder contour. All right, I'm not mad at that. It is a little bit deep, but not too deep where I feel like it's not usable. Through the jawline and on the hairline. I almost wonder if I should have got the lighter shade to be more comparable to the Charlotte Tilbury, because the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Duo is one of my favorite powder contours. For blush, I'm just taking the shade Euphoria from this little Blushes Life Trio for holiday from Kosas. The amount of people that I have heard recommending these blushes was insane, especially the shade Butterflies. The shade Euphoria, this reminds me so much of Hourglass Mood Exposure. It's almost like a muted mauve, but it has a slight pinkish sheen to it. And just because I want to feature this, because I feel like nobody's really talking about it, it's from Danessa Myricks Beauty, the Forever Flushed gift set. This is $35 for 4 different cream blushes. I just want to use a little bit just to dust over the top of almost like the high point of my cheek. Yeah, that's good. I love this formula especially because I have a lot of texture on the high points of my cheek, and because this has that blurring formula, it looks so good on my skin. That's a good little cheek duo right there. And this cream blush is the shade Dancing Queen. For highlighter, I'm going to go in with the Sephora Collection Colorful Luminizer in the shade Pink Flash. These are some of the most underrated highlighters at Sephora. I especially love the shade Sparkling Honey, but I just love me a pinky tone highlight. The reason I say this is so underrated is because I feel like this is so ideal for people like me that have textured skin, especially on the high points, but you want that high shine finish. This is going to give you that high shine glow, but it's not going to accentuate as much texture as a lot of high shine highlighters will. Just look at it. It's fucking beautiful. I didn't get any new brow products yet, but if you guys have any brow pencil recommendations, feel free to leave them in the comments. Not me just realizing that I never put on concealer. Going into my waterline, I'm going to go in first with the shade She Rich from the Huda palette. I'm focusing this mainly on the outer third. Then I'm going to go back to Unapologetic with my Refer number 1 and blend out right underneath. Normally you'll see me drag down my under eye pretty far, but with these colors specifically, you're not going to see me do that because I don't want to look like I got punched in the face. Lastly, I'm going to take the shade High Life and just go right underneath all of that, keeping everything very close together. Cute! It just occurred to me that the only lip products that I got were lip glosses, so I'm gonna first line my lips with the Lawless Beauty Forget the Filler lip liner in the shade Pink Slip. How the fuck did I only get lip glosses? I almost forgot my inner corner. For inner corner, I'm gonna take a pencil brush in the shade Iced Out and just tap it right on the inner corner, and I might as well just put it on my brow bone as well. All right, now back to lips. I'm just lining my lips and using the shade Yana from Natasha Denona, and I'm gonna top it off with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Icy Nude lip gloss. I picked up the shade She Flirty. I like the scent of this. It smells almost coconutty. This is my first time using any of these glosses. I'm not really noticing any shimmer. It's definitely more high shine and it's a little bit thicker in consistency. Let me finish off this look with some lashes and we'll pull it all together. I know it's been a while, but damn, I'm forgetting so many steps. Almost forgot my mascara from Tower 28. I picked up a brand new one. This is a repurchase, so you already know that it's good. One of the best mascaras at Sephora. And the most perfect eyeliner for this look, the Wayne Goss eye pencil in the shade Amethyst. This is a perfect eye pencil for this palette. And here is the finished look. I would love to know what you guys think. Overall, so far, I am very happy with everything that I picked out. I think the one that surprised me the most was honestly this Kosas set. Granted, I only tried the one shade, but when I swatched these shades in store, I was not impressed whatsoever. 2 of the 3 just looked really muted, and I didn't really feel like they would be ideal for my skin tone, but after building this one up, I really liked the sheen that it gave my skin. The color suited me really nicely. I obviously have to try the other 2, but I could definitely see more of the hype after trying the first one. I still stand by what I said with this Danessa Myricks gift set. I feel like this is so underrated, and you're getting 4 different shades for $35. This right here is a no-brainer for a glorious formula. For the foundation, the first impression is definitely off to a good start. I think it looks beautiful on my skin, but we have to see how it wears. For the Huda Beauty launch, I'm still gathering my thoughts about the lip gloss. I don't think that it's my favorite formula, but it's nice, but I wish that it showed that sparkle a little bit more. And for the palette, I definitely need to keep trying this more because I need to utilize all of the formulas before I give my final stamp of approval on this, but I do think that this look looks beautiful today, but is it unlike anything else that I've ever gotten in my collection? No. I do really like these palettes because we do get a wide variety of textures, colors, and things like that, but I do feel like there is some overlap that we didn't necessarily need all in one palette. But I will keep testing this one. I just feel like a lot of my looks will probably come out looking the same. And lastly, the Sephora collection items. I think that these 2 contour products are definitely worth a shot, but I would highly recommend if you're shopping the sale, just try one of these luminizers. They're fantastic. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys are loving, not loving, if you have any recommendations for the sale. If you guys did enjoy your time here, I would love it if you would subscribe, click the notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos or go live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and also TikTok, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!